So, all right. I have thoughts on the end game stuff, but you guys first. Thoughts over there?
Thoughts?
On the end game stuff or just in general?
Just in general, the game of Masters of Venice.
I know yesterday.
See, look what you did to me.
started on
Masters of
Venus.
Venice. I know, right?
So yesterday I was super frustrated, but I still had fun. So that says a lot for a game. Like I was drawing some weird stuff, but then you could kind of. So even drawing weird here, you can try to make up with it and not. Just not fulfill them and use these. They're worth points. Then I ended up taking this to switch them out, which helped a lot. So this, even though there's some luck with the draw, there's mitigation enough to. Yeah, it helps, and I do like this, where you can follow, so you have to try to think of what everybody else is doing, and then if you think they're going to go on the outside, you can take on the inside. Like we were reading yesterday, the church one can be used effectively, but in both games we haven't used the church. You just have to, like if you think someone's going to take what they're doing, you can go to the church, but other than that, there's a lot of trying to read what everyone else is doing, I guess, which I enjoy.
Yeah, I do as well.
Trying to think why I didn't win. No, I'm just trying to think where I went wrong, and I can't put my finger on it really.
No, you played really well.
I thought I was having fun playing well, so I had fun, right?
Right.
I had fun playing. I got it a lot more than yesterday. It took the whole play yesterday to really get it. It was super clunky and hard to get going. There was no flow to it yesterday, and I was kind of down on it. And I think that's. Just to speak about the show in general, if I was at home watching this and I played, I think it would be smoother in my first play. Right. So I think playing a game not knowing anything about it the first time has something to do with that. But the second time, I saw all the moving parts and how they worked, and I internalized some of the stuff you really need the spreadsheet here for that shows you which way prices go and stuff. And I realized kind of how to manipulate the prices the way I wanted, and I started buying the blue out of the docks to make my price go up so that I could cash them all in, and I kind of try to get money that way. And it was a lot more satisfying when I could see the way the gears turned behind the scenes. And I liked it. I'm going to be thinking for a while why I was 3 points behind, and but I don't know what.
And I mean, I don't know the definitive answer on that, obviously. I'm far from an expert on this, but I think the fact that, I got 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah, those contracts.
And 6. So I got a total of 5 contracts. You did 3. Obviously, the difference is one contract.
I think I was.
But these bottom contracts, these were both worth 12. This was worth combined 12 for me. I took
so it was a lot. 12,
money here.
You
took money and points, I think, and then
getting that stock,
Good point.
The stock isn't worth as much.
You guys got 12 more points than me in those, and I guess I was 3 behind there.
Right.
I think the last round I was really nervous. I think I should have stuck harder to my strategy, which was not to care too much about selling the stuff at the guild hall. And I wanted to manipulate the stocks and kind of have fun that way and manipulate the prices. And the last round I had 2 sitting there, and I focused a lot on the last round just getting those 2 sold, right? Instead of trusting maybe you guys would take some actions I needed or keep manipulating the stock market and maybe just see my strategy out to the end. The last round for me, if you maybe go back and look at it, I was just all about fulfilling those last 2 contracts.
Right. Yep.
And I kind of got off what I was doing, right? And if I didn't even pick those up, I could have made my money up somewhere else.
maybe just try to fulfill the one that you had and then just keep
That's
going
a
with
really
the
good
pushing
point,
blue and red.
because when you have 2 players that are really going hard at that and they're at the beginning of the turn order, you can't get what you need, especially when things are priced out where people are going to buy for points, because there's multiple reasons to buy those resources, right? So when wood went up where it was and all my stuff was wood, especially those ones, that's the one I grabbed last, but it made it impossible for me following around to get where I needed to go. So you almost have to kind of anti-strategy. If you guys are going heavy in that, I need to do something else in that stock market. Maybe if you kept going with it.
And I got lucky at the end too, because she sold 3 of these.
That's why I was upset that you didn't push it down to 0.
Yeah, because I was like, why are you doing this?
In hindsight, that cost me, right? So,
but then he might have won if you didn't get that extra.
No, you would have helped him so much.
You would have helped me.
He would have
closed the gap for
You
me,
were going to be second either way. He just was going to blow by everybody if you didn't.
So I got
do that.
40 a share here, so that was like 3 points right there.
right.
At least that is
I
a
did
tie.
it too.
Right.
Versus he was
Right?
going
If that was at 0,
kill you.
all those yellows could have been sold at the end. They would have lost money for selling the cubes and whatever. So.
And you wouldn't have gotten yours.
Yeah, good point. Yeah, good point.
Would have been.
I thought I had a chance because I knew.
Well,
You were.
second.
Well,
It came
obviously,
to-
no, I'm saying.
So money, it came to the second tiebreaker, so not only did you have a chance, you were...
Well, no, I'm saying a couple of rounds, 4 rounds back. I was like, okay, I have a chance. I just need to be able to. But it was so slow going because the way the cubes were coming out into the docks,
painful.
I was like, I could buy a cube, and I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah. And so, and because I did a poor job of manipulating myself, and I was cash poor at times when I needed to be able to be higher in turn order to be able to get the trader one for the Mercator, to be able to get multiples or something along the lines of that. And it just, the draws of the shipping offices just kept coming out wrong. And of course, the very last round, the wood comes out, and I'm like, yeah, sure, now it does. So there was luck of the draw
Take
there,
that
but
times 10.
but I didn't
I was
feel
slammed.
I didn't feel horrible by the luck of the draw. I felt like I made poor decisions as far as leaving myself in positions that had to react as opposed to dictating.
Right.
So if I could have made more money or invested more into the turn order, I wouldn't have been behind where I felt like I needed to be ahead.
So I
So-
feel like I got a little lucky. Like I wasn't out of it, but when all those yellows came up and they started selling and we actually started pushing it up, that end round where I sold a bunch and we got a bunch of money off of this really pushed me. Because even if I lost $300, that puts me.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
tied for.
you have to
tied
look
for
at what
second.
cubes are out
Yeah.
there and what's going to push it.
Yeah.
So at the
Right.
beginning of the game, there was a lot of blue out there, so that's why I bought all the blue. And that was like that was just what got me going. There was one small rule that we changed between yesterday and today that I think made a huge difference.
Oh,
and
it's
the way we filled the docks,
Yeah.
and they made the game completely different. I think, in
Agreed.
my
As
opinion.
opposed to
It
randomly
makes
put 'em
going
out
to
there.
the shipping offices completely different because
Yeah.
you have control over where they go.
'Cause, like, you can pile all the
you're
blue
able to
here and then
manipulate
buy 'em all,
So I put all
or-
the blue together, and at the end, I had a little pile of what I needed to fulfill my guild hall order and stuff, and it made it feel a lot smoother.
So I was going to say, to your point about playing it already all the way through, I have not played this all the way through. So this is my first time seeing this game played out. That's really hard. So I would suggest if you're introducing this to somebody, you either need to level the experience field, like, hey, sit down and everybody's playing for the first time together, or no, they're really not going to understand like how it's going to play out and where they need to go.
Well, it's like what you guys said for yesterday, right? To where yesterday you were like,
Yeah.
I got frustrated. Like I was.
Yeah.
That Glory to Rome would have been a lot more than 4 if it was yesterday's
Right.
game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The-
So there's definitely an
And
experience
I think I was
level.
like down here.
we all ended up in this corner yesterday.
Right.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
I think the
So
winning
that
score was
was
like
how we all-
25 yesterday,
Yeah.
or somewhere around there.
right.
So
Yeah. Yesterday the fiddle.
actually,
made
no,
us-
one of them was up here, but then the last
Yeah.
3
Yeah.
of us were here.
The fiddle factor yesterday really slowed it down, and so you think if you know that going in, maybe
so-
like Jess was just saying, get everyone on the same level.
Yeah.
Have people watch this beforehand. Something
Yeah,
like
try
that.
to get them
so you
through
can
it.
know how the flow goes. But it was really satisfying the second time around. Once
I
we
feel
got the
this-
flow
It was
down.
2.5 hours after the
Yeah.
teach.
Yeah, this was.
Which is completely reasonable for this. And I think it would be probably 2 hours if we weren't streaming it because, talking, interacting with you guys, the whole 9
It changes it
yards.
up.
And that's with one new player. I mean, we went through a quarter of the game earlier today, and then
Yeah,
you
but a
guys
quarter of the
yesterday.
game you just don't see because that first round is completely different from the third and fourth round.
But it took me-
and you
Sorry.
really need to understand like how those components are going to come out and really how to maximize your turns. Buy a bunch at one time. I'm trying to like economize, right? Because I'm like, oh, I'll get a few this time and a few next time and a few, and that is a huge mistake in this game. And I just wanted to point that out because as far as strategy goes, taking bit by bit killed me.
Yes.
Overtaking and then selling would have been a much better thing, but you can't know that when you are playing this through for the first time.
Fair
You need
enough.
to maximize what you're doing. Like,
Yeah.
it's the same
Efficiency
idea
of
as
actions,
like
right?
if you think someone's going to take this, you'd be like,
But there's
gonna be
two
more
different
efficient, and then-
types of efficiency
Yeah, no,
of action.
definitely,
There's
yeah.
efficiency of action of like go all in, or there's efficiency of action of don't get too much because you're going to pay at the
Sure.
end. And
Yep.
so there's having played all the way through. Now I understand. Oh, okay, I went way too soft on this side, and I should have mitigated that more. But you can't know that. But hopefully, watching this will help people understand that.
And Todd asked, do you think it needs the 4th round? So could it have been just the 9 rounds, or the 4th quarter, if you will, is what I think he's asking.
Right. Don't know. It was 2.5 hours, you said.
Yeah, I think that's fine. I didn't feel like it dragged or overstayed.
Yeah.
I had a different focus, I felt like, each of the 4 sections.
Yes.
Yes.
It changes so
You know, like I had
completely.
a totally different focus. The character you pick maybe helps a little bit.
Yeah.
But,
By giving you direction.
but I
on
felt like there
yeah.
was kind of a story and arc kind of to the game instead of just doing the same thing over and over again.
Agreed.
Right?
Yep. Yeah, there definitely seemed to be an evolution, even though it's the same 8 actions. When matters. The timing of things changed throughout the game of what everybody needed,
lot.
I think.
Yeah.
So there you go.
That's it.
Cool. All right. So there you go. One of my top 50 games, so Masters of Venice. And we streamed this, honestly, because I wanted to stream it. So there we go. Really early now in Switzerland. All right.
4
Take
a.m.
care,
Get some
Nico.
rest.
4 a.m.
Wow, that's a trooper. Well done, Nico. All right. So thank you, everybody, for watching. Hopefully you all enjoyed it. We enjoyed it, as you guys heard. If you guys liked it, like and subscribe down below. It helps the show. Don't forget, support the show. PledgeHC.com. Become one of the patrons. That said, be back tomorrow with an Ask the Elephant at 2 o'clock. I think 2 o'clock. Check the channel. It's already up there, so check it out. And then a live stream of Hornet Leaner. Hornet Leaner.
Sure,
It's a
yes.
it's a hornet
B-side.
that just leans. It's the B-side.
Watch the April 1st stream if you need to know what that means.
Well done. That was well done. That was a good job. Hornet Leader at 3 p.m. Eastern on Wednesday. Solo playthrough. Last one for the week because we have plans for the weekend. So that said, I'm Edward.
And Jess.
I'm Chris.
And Christopher.
Christopher the winner. That's with the majestic beard.
The
Have a
did
good
it.
night, guys. Take care, everybody.